Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow at DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.
And you already know it's how you wake up. Listen to that voice coming through this morning. That's the first time, maybe the second time I've said something out loud. Because these are my first thoughts of the morning. I just literally rubbed sleep from my eye. Let me tell you, this is a daily podcast. If I wake up with a breath of life, you're going to get a podcast. We're going to talk about how to get out of this bed. Now, some of you are already up. Listen, stop and take a minute with me and let's just get some clarity about this day. What is it we're supposed to be doing today? Well, the first thing we do over here is we grab our journal and we are going to turn to, and I got a real echo going on in my head. We're going to turn to a blank page as I go blank there. We're going to turn to a blank page because we know that every day is an opportunity. It's full of choices and opportunities, choices, chances, opportunities, and so forth. Even if you started out on the right foot, wrong foot, got up on the right side, the wrong side of the bed, already had to deal with the right people, the wrong people. Now guess what you can do? You can stop and say, stop! I can't take this. Okay, can't touch this. But I want to talk about something. You know who you will never be able to outdo? No one can ever outdo the doers. Talkers, they can get out-talked all day long. You can distract the talker. But a doer is a determined person. I want you to do me a favor. Wake up, doers. That's who I want to talk to. And I want to talk to them so much so that today's going to become a two-way conversation. So I want you to tweet me at DryerBuzz if you have any comments. We're going to go over to one of the many platforms that we're live on right now. So a two-way conversation is to be had on our Twitter and Periscope. That's where we're hanging out today. So wherever you're listening to this, if you want to be part of a two-way conversation, meaning you want to react instantly to some of the things that I say, I am looking in on Periscope. I'm going to look in over on Periscope. So you'll hear me do some greetings. You'll hear me read some comments. And that's where I want to pull those from on this. Now, this is how to get out of bed, meaning that this is where I just said, get clarity in our day. Some of the first thoughts, things that I have sat here just for a few minutes and kind of meditated on, and I said, listen, if I'm going to be a vessel for something today, give me some words. Let me put this out there. Let me inspire some people as I then will end this, and I'm going to go and look for some amazing stories to continue something I have done for the past 17 years, and that is control the narrative, disrupt current flow of narratives, and tell your story. Talk about some of the most amazing things that you and others, us, have going on. And I want to continue to inspire those that are doers, because each and every day there are those that are trying to suppress the doers. There are those that are trying to dismiss, right? Dang, I've said a lot that I could have written down. Let me put that down. Talkers. What did I say? When we are working through this process, we are creating a word cloud so that we can always go back to that word cloud. I don't know how you journal. A lot of people don't journal because they find that to be overwhelming. They think it's like diary writing. You got to write down all this stuff. You got to outline, itemize. No. Do it. Learn to do what inspires you, right? Like, it being active and participatory in society, I am inspired by writing. I am inspired by blogging. I am inspired by podcasting. I come out here and I drop my podcast. There's a couple that I do each day, and that's my contribution, right? So you have to learn what inspires you, and to keep you as a doer, right? You've got to find that. Because if you don't, you're gonna get distracted. This is gonna be one of those D ones. You're gonna get distracted. You're gonna always be disappointed, especially if your doing is incumbent upon somebody cheering you on, somebody boosting you, and all those. Or you can't do it if everybody's not doing it. Because let me tell you something. Because one of the first posts I saw was, there were a couple people doing what he was doing, but if you need for X amount of people, like you didn't get a Popeye sandwich till you saw a certain amount of people go. I understand the influencers, that's one thing, but if you find yourself in need of something, and this is where what becomes disturbing, right? I'm gonna write that down. This is what becomes disturbing is those that are disrupted writing, y'all. I have to kind of stop talking so I can spell. Those that become disrupted, and it becomes disturbing when they need something and won't even satisfy their own need. Again, we talked about yesterday, worried about what somebody else is going to say, going to do, and going to think, right? I remember, and I've had several of these occasions. First of all, I'm a woman. I'm a female woman, however you want to describe it, right? And I oftentimes am pulled into circles of women. I don't stay there long because what you will start to notice, my thing is, if a woman can't speak up for herself, then she certainly won't benefit from me advocating for her. Okay? And I don't mean to men let y'all think y'all get out of that too, because basically if a person cannot advocate for themselves, and I have been an advocate, I have been an activist, it is a very tiring, thankless, no, there's a lot of thanks in it, there's a lot of thanks, there's a lot of reward to it, but the outcomes that you want as an activist or an advocate doesn't come enough, right? In that line of whether it's your passion or your work, or you volunteer at it or you get paid for it, there will always be so many that slip through. There will always be so many that you can't serve simply because they are not doers. So you can rain down upon somebody you're advocating for all the resources that they need. And I do mean like all the resources that they need. You can give them everything and every opportunity. And there will forever be those that cannot proceed forward. They cannot stop the violence in their lives. They cannot go and get more of food. I see it every weekend. Even this past weekend, all the signs went up in the neighborhood for the food pantries here and the clothing over here, the back to school stuff, all that back to school stuff that went on. There were children that still showed up that didn't have what they need. The people have gotten to the point now they've got to just strictly give it to the school. The kid coming home with a whole book bag and whole stuff. And some of it is because it might be because people are not paying attention to what the need is, and some of it could just be pride. Now, I rode around this weekend, and one of the things I wanted to be mindful of is I wanted to be able to discern as I look around what are some things that people really take pride in, because there's a lot in our world that where there's an absence of pride. So pride and being proud of something, and there's a difference, right? There's a difference where a person can be too proud, have too much pride, and they're looking at things and they don't see the need. Like last night I stopped to get gas, and there was a gentleman that parked at the pump next to mine. He had this work truck, and I'm gonna call it a work truck because I'm pretty sure he was deriving some type of income from it, from the multitude of stuff in the truck, right? Clearly everything still in the truck still maintains some level of value to him, even though the back of the truck was pretty much bungee tied, hanging off, falling off, packed to the gills. The inside of the truck, because I'm a person, I look around and notice this stuff. The inside of the truck, had old cups and paper, and there was just this part. And we see these people all the time. They're just a little piece inside, just carved out enough for them to sit. How they sit in that, I don't know. But everything in this truck, still had some value to him. Now, he came into the store, and I went in and I'm paying for my gas. And there aren't but a couple of service stations in the city where I go and get my gas, and they know me and they recognize me and they know that, we keep an eye out for each other, right? So He is in line in front of me. Now, mind you, you can already assess. There's a lot of need going on here. Like, bro need a new truck, right? But he and apparently his way of getting it was all of these scratch offs that he bought and vigorously went to scratching because tonight or this morning was going to be the day that he was going to get the blessing that was probably going to make all that was going on outside non-existent for him. So his doing was, okay, he probably had worked a hard day. Whatever this labor intensive thing that he does, he probably had gotten to it was either the end of his day or the beginning of his day. And therefore he probably didn't want to have to do it anymore today. So he went and got his scratch off. I ain't mad at him because let me tell you, I posted yesterday. I used to go and get my little $20 worth of gas and then I go flip that in what I do, right? But I was like, look, give me 18 and 2 tickets. Because clearly something goes on with these lottery tickets that I don't just, like they say, you can't win it if you're not in it. So now my habit is just give me 8 because them little $2 extra, don't even get a gallon, right? So now my thing is, okay, and the guy showed me how to do my slip because at the time I go get my gas in the day, there are 2 drawings left. He said, okay, you want to play, because I guess he got tired of punching in whatever number come in my mind. So I'm like, okay, show me how to do this ticket, right? So I go in the gas station now, and I said, well, give me 18. I'm a pump. I'm always at the same pump. I don't even have to say what pump I'm on, right? They even didn't already see me pulling up, because I'm one of those people, I pull up to the pump, I'm going to be on my phone a minute before I even go in the store, right? So I get $18 and 2 tickets for the next 2 drawings. One number, next 2 drawings. I'm staying on that number because apparently it comes often or not. My mother used to play it, my daddy plays it, and it comes pretty often. Because I know I used to see it all the time. And they would always win, and I wouldn't win. And it's my child's number. So anyway, so I'm like, I'm getting my stuff, and I already had my ticket. So, but I'm watching him as he goes over, and I mean, he is vigorously scratching it. And can I just tell y'all, he wasn't scratching the $1 and the $2 ticket. He was scratching them big tickets, which is what, $5, $10, $15, $20. Those are the tickets he was scratching, and it never entered my mind. It probably just entered y'all's. Well, he could do this and he could do that and he could do this and he could do that. It never entered my mind what he could do. And I'm like, brother, go on, scratch on, cut, right? That's his doing. That's his doing. And I know as a burnout advocate, I know as a burnout activist, he ain't ready. He ain't ready for nothing else. He ain't ready for the sister be come preaching, bro, why you playing them numbers? Bro, why you doing? He ain't ready. Because guess what? He would have asked. Like, he would have looked at me and the divine individual would have been like, sister, how do I keep from doing this? Because I would have said, first of all, take that right there. Take what you just spent on one of them tickets and roll to the dump and get all that stuff off that truck. And I could tell you how you can go and probably double what you did. Because I could do that, right? Because I could have said, bruh, that $20 ticket you got right there, you could have rolled to the dump, cleaned out that truck, and I could show you this app right here. There are people who are dying for somebody to roll up with a truck that they could put some stuff on, and you could do that once or twice a day and make as much as this labor-intensive day that's wearing on you right now. So I could have said that, but he wasn't ready. And had I said it then, in that moment, and I know sometimes you have to go ahead and put stuff on people and then let them process and deal with it. And I was like, no, he ain't never seen me before. But we out here this time. I'm always out here. I'll see him again. Because, if it's divine, guess what's going to happen? Bro, I saw you. Didn't I see you at? Then guess what? I'm gonna let me tell you, do you know? Because this is what I do all the time. But see, I have lived long enough, and I got a great patch in my head where I have said things and done things for people a little bit too early. It wears on you. So I'm like, no, I'll see him again. I will see, because I'm gonna definitely know that truck. I'm gonna know that truck, right? And I'm gonna tell bruh. And guess what? If it was, maybe it's not for him. It's for me speaking it right now on this. Because some of y'all done walked to the window and looked outside at your truck. Stopped and looked at your labor intensive day as we celebrate the arrival of the first 20 that led to 400 years of the overconsumption of free labor on these labor camps, these labor intensive camps that some people love to now call big beautiful plantations in this country. If I can disrupt anybody having to spend their lives as labor intensive as what was wearing on that brother right there, with all that stuff that he had on the back of that truck that still had some kind of value to him, and the way he was scratching off them 20 and probably $30 lottery tickets trying to get a little money to supplement what didn't come in yesterday. If you have got up and walked out and looked outside of your truck waiting on me to wait, which app is that she getting ready to talk about? If you have looked at your labor intensive day, if you're trying to figure out how to get just another hour of freedom, just to find another moment of pride and being proud, y'all, let me tell y'all, there's a way. Tweet me at DryerBuzz. If you want it, just tweet me at DryerBuzz. Like I said in this, I'm watching one of the conversations. I'm gonna jump around. We're gonna watch some comments over here at Twitter. But like I said, if it's meant for him, I will see him again because I'm always in that area. But I know what I didn't want to do is intrude. I didn't want to intrude because I didn't know how he might have. I could have said a word to him. He could have cussed me slam out. That has happened. I've been cussed out many times. Why don't you mind your business? Why are you trying to tell us? Hey, I understand. But I said, well, you know what? Let me talk about these doers, and then I remember the story. So maybe telling it on here, and Mocha over here jumping in, hears it and knows. Listen, wait, I know probably know that truck, or I know a person living that labor intensive life. So there's a difference between doers and overdoing. There's a difference between talkers, doers, and overdoing. And those that are getting burnt out, those are the overdoers. See, I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out on being an activist. I'm burnt out on being an advocate. I walked away from that. I was like, look, I ain't got time to trying to get no more of these grants. I ain't got time. And I had time. I was clear that I've had time. Because, that in and of itself was probably a good, 20 years ago. And I was like, I've been out of that for 20 years. I went on the other side of that, writing the stories and covering it. And if you look at my timeline and some of the archives of DryerBuzz, you see that. I was like, well, I'll just become the storyteller of the advocate because I'm tired. Because you get tired and you become burnt out. I was watching, like I said, the back to school stuff and people trying to get all this stuff that people need to them. Well, the one thing that I learned is for the majority of the people, don't invest in what they need. They don't put all their money in what they need. They don't put all their time in what they need. That's why they have the need. That's why we have the need. I have a need. There's a need right now. It's but that's not what we do. That's human nature. Understand that now so that you can become a doer. Understand that the doer might become exhausted. Understand the doer might have some separate thoughts. Ain't nobody had this thought yet. Like the Popeyes and connect to the Popeyes to the owners, right? And now you see all the memes the Popeye. First of all, folks are trip, boy. They will take what you say and put it in a meme and not give you attribution ever, right? But anyway, moving on. See, that's the bitter. See how that bitterness jumped in there? As a doer, you're gonna have some bitterness because you're out here running around like Paul Revere, trying to get people to have like Denzel say in that movie, Great Debaters, keep their natural mind. With all these weapons that are out here formed against us and all that kind of stuff. As a doer, you will feel something. I'm gonna write this down, honey, because I think when I woke up this morning, before I uttered my first word, I did feel some exhaustion. I was like, do I need another couple of hours of sleep? Should I lay back down? Is it time? And I'm like, well, the thoughts done already started. I need to go ahead and start doing this podcast. I don't have to do it too long as I look and see that we're just at 19 minutes in it. We got another 20-some minutes to go. Exhaustion. It is a thing. And guess what today is, y'all? It's come Monday. I'm recording this one on a Monday morning, which I told everybody to beware of, be caution of. Woke up this morning, and guess what? People are like, well, what's going on? I'm seeing people here, people there. There's a strike that kicked off. I don't know if it kicked off today or it was already going on, but people are noticing on their commute that there are strikers, and those are the AT&T strikers, right? AT&T workers are striking today. We don't know how long that's gonna go. Maybe somebody's gonna go ahead and sign off on what it is they need. But guess who got up and got out there on that line? The doers. Everybody was thinking probably thought it was just gonna be talk. They thought it was probably gonna get that last minute. It probably was something that went on at 12 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I don't know what a debt, because usually when there's a strike, when people hit the street, there was a deadline. Write that down, y'all. We all have these deadlines. I woke up this morning. I was like, the first thing I did was look. Not the first thing I did. I mean, at some point in my morning ritual, I'm like, what's at deadline? Because sometimes you can't get. Some of us aren't inspired to do until deadline. That's me. I will, y'all. I will push a deadline. I will bend a deadline like time. You know, nobody successfully that we know of has successfully bent time yet, right? But I will push a deadline, and I'm a doer. I am way more than a talker. Now I talk, but I'm a doer. And when you start the talk and you continue to talk and you're like, it's time to do, you will find that a lot of people have fallen off. There's a meeting in Atlanta. I'm outside Atlanta, y'all. There's a meeting that takes place on Monday morning. I never know why this thing takes place on Monday morning, because it's like everybody that the issue is of concern to can't be at the meeting. Hear me when I say this. Everybody for which the meeting is of concern can't be at the meeting simply because it takes place on a Monday. But this particular meeting is stoked in something of the past, in thinking that the reverends, pastors, the good pastors get stuff done. They meet on a Monday morning here inside the perimeter in Atlanta, right? And they cover the concerns of the citizens who can't be there. Because back in the day, it was the only person who had Monday morning off, or any other day of the week pretty much flexible, were let me grab my lemonade, were the pastors. So there's this meeting that takes place on a Monday morning. There's a meeting on Tuesday, y'all. There's a meeting on Wednesday. There's a meeting Thursday. There's a meeting Friday. There's a meeting Saturday. There's a meeting, I don't know what get done on Sunday. But anyway, then there's a meeting every other Monday, every other Tuesday, every other Wednesday, every other Thursday, every other Friday. Then there's a meeting every third Monday, every third Tuesday, every third Wednesday, every third Friday, every fourth Friday, and Saturday, and first Friday, and fifth, and Lord knows if there's a fifth, this, that, and that. There's meetings, okay? So if you are a doer, you already know, because you probably showing up to 4 or 5 of those meetings, right? And the one on Wednesday is of particular interest. I need to see if the one on Wednesday is still going on. And look, while y'all talking about Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, did y'all know that Chick-fil-A has a meeting twice a month in the city, outside the city, in Atlanta. There's a meeting they have, Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A runs around writing checks, okay? I'm still researching the Popeyes. They do too. But Chick-fil-A right now, I know, has for the past couple of years had this meeting that was like twice a month. Like when you go and spend all your money at Chick-fil-A, you then get to go and tell them where you'd like to see some of that give back, because they do that whole bunch of give back kind of stuff. And you go into these meetings, you tell them, well, y'all got X amount of locations in my community. My community should get to this. They're like, okay, right. Those are the doers. That's what happens. That's where the doers end up, right? The talkers, they just talking. I'm just saying. Forever, as I sip my lemonade, forever and always talking. But you have to listen to the talkers, because there's a lot of data there. And did you also know that every weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday, they usually there's usually like a prayer breakfast on Sunday, then everybody travel back. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all the top hotels in the country, that people are convened to talk. They're not necessarily the doers. Some of them are. Some of them do come away from that great talkathon and go back into the communities for doing, right? So that also takes place as we're talking about our doers for those that are coming in. And if you have comments, you can always tweet me. Let me go over here and check my Twitter out, open my Twitter up, and you can always tweet at DryerBuzz. I know everybody's got 2-3 devices, so get on another device and comments. Tweet your comments over there. Watching comments today, and live, trying to have a two-way conversation on Twitter. So I've got lemonade in my hand, so I'm not writing too much, but we're trying to decipher, and the dog is up, so we need to get ready to get done. But the doers and the talkers, the thing about it is there's value in it all. There's value in it all. We have to see the value in it all. Now there's disappointment and there's pride in it all. As I look for some of these comments over here, everybody's talking about Andrew Luck this morning. There's value in it all. There's so much value. If you are a doer, there's so much value in the talkers because that's your sampling, right? The talkers are your sampling. If you wanna become a doer, the talkers will forever be your sampling because that's when you get to see. That's where you get to see how life is impacted, how what you are doing is impacting those by which you're serving. Because you're serving. Let me tell you. A doer is more likely than not serving. I'm writing that down. They're serving others in some capacity. It's definitely always and forever about service. When service goes astray, that's where the problem comes in at. Make sure my volume is down as I open under the platforms to check on some. Make sure we're over here on this other platform. That's where, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I got that. Let me see, y'all. Sorry, they changed this around. So now I've got to, I'm telling you. Okay, remember I just said we were watching the market, and I paused because I just got an alert on the market, and they have literally posted the New York Stock Exchange in a live, and people are watching it, and looks like it is let me see, I wanted to see the title of the thing. Let me see if I can go back to the title. We're watching the Dow Jones Industrial Average as markets continue. I think I can't see the title of it. So I told y'all to have a piece of cash on hand. I told y'all to keep an eye on this thing. Let me see. Why didn't they pin the post? Okay. It's up right now. It's climbing, as they're saying. So that's why Trump was doing that late meeting, because we were going to wake up, and I'm looking at some of the comments on here. A volatile market and fears of recession while the market is going up. So people are watching the market today. And I can't tell you what day it is. What day are we recording this thing? Let me go back and get the date. So this one, I'm recording this live on Monday, August the 26th. And so people ABC and others have posted the Dow in a live, and people are watching it because there was so much concern as to what the market was going to do, which is probably why we saw all the stuff we saw over the weekend from the doers, okay? Because there are a lot of talkers and there are doers. All right, so watching that, and then as long as that green is there, as long as the green is on there, people are relieved. I won't say they're happy. I don't want to say anybody's jumping for joy, because but people are relieved to see that we are in the green right now as the market, because the talk is, let me put it this way, the talk is the administration, the Trump administration and others are looking for something to unify concern around the country, right? Because, we're on this trajectory of this hate thing, and they're trying to find something else. And the last time, I'm going to tell y'all, the last time it felt like this, the last time this kind of thing was going on was during the Bush era. Even though we had a couple of, government shutdowns and things like this. But see, during the Obama administration, thank goodness we were overwhelmed with doers. But we were overwhelmed with a lot of talk and stuff during the Bush administration, and you know how what happened during the Bush era and so forth, as well as some of the other eras. So people are really watching this because the talk has been, and now the doers had to jump in action at deadline. I think deadline was either last night or early this morning. So the talkers got out of the way, and the doers had to. And this is green and climbing. The Dow is climbing because the doers had to jump in action. And basically, they're out there buying some stuff and selling some stuff and buying some stuff and selling some stuff so that we could have it come Monday with this thing on the climb. But people are going to be watching it very closely because it could turn our economy. We could deep dive into another recession, which is what's been the talk, right? But the doers are obviously out there doing what they're doing. So keep in mind of that. But if you are trying to figure out whether or not you're tired of doing the talk, you're ready to start being the doer, you got to look at what's disturbing. What disturbs you most? What disturbs you most? What disrupts you most? What gives you the most exhaustion? What keeps you at deadline? One of the things that we've been talking about in our household, it seems like we are always, and rightfully so, because we had a lot going on. What we're trying to do is buy ourselves some time, y'all. Time, right? So one of the ways in which we decided we said, okay, here are the things that we got to do in order to go back to really enjoying our time and enjoying our days and not always being at deadline. It seemed like every day, we saw the little smoke trying to put out the fire. We were always at deadline. Now, naturally so, we would be there because we had to exhaust everything, and we had to rebuild our safety net, right? Because we exhausted. I mean, literally, we exhausted everything. We had to rebuild our safety net, and we just got tired of talking about being tired. I'm telling y'all, write that down, because you got to get tired of it. You have to. Let me tell you, there is no doer out there that didn't just get tired of something, just absolutely tired, and then they begin to share. Some of them were like, listen, y'all, this is what I did. Like literally, even though some people realize, wait, she just had a 5-year break. I had a 5-year mental break because my mental was challenged to the fact that it was pretty much non-existent. And as it's come back, I had lunch with somebody the other day. I had lunch with a colleague, Sabrina Lowry, the other day, and Sabrina was just talking like we just know each other. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I said, I'm trying to get my memory back, girl. How do we? Because when she invited me to lunch, and I'm trying to remember, like, what was our working relationship before, right? And I have to ask. And so we went to lunch and said, wait a minute, girl, let's just stop for a minute. How do we know each other? When do we meet? What initiated this? Because we obviously have mad respect for what one another's doing. We also are in some of the same lanes. Our paths keep crossing, and we're at the point where some of us are really getting together to work together because we find that we are doers. We are the ones who show up. We've been in these groups. All of us, we've been in these groups where people were just talking, and when it came time to executing, write that down. When it came time to executing, like she would invite me out to something they'd have, and she'd invite a whole bunch of people, but I would show up, right? And so she was saying, well, hey, what's reconnected us is a common friend, Joy, but we have known each other at this level, that level, during this wave or that wave, and just parallel in what we're doing as far as some of the technologies and enterprises and family business, their family business, my family business, and all this kind of stuff. And I participated in an event on a panel. Did a presentation at an event she did last year. They reconnected. They did it this year. Just participated again, and she said, "Listen, after we've got to sit down and figure out how we can really and truly work together." And she poured into me, and I poured into her. She cleared up some stuff for me. I gave her some clarity. I'm telling you, but again, only because I knew that this was a moment that needed to go beyond talk. I needed to say, yes, you and I sit down. Not only did we sit down and have a great meal, have a couple of drinks, we sat down, we had a great working session. Like, listen, let's get over here. We can just sit down and really go in on this thing. Let's go ahead and follow through right here, right now. In fact, we sat there and what I love to call let's brand like a man. Let's brand like a man. Because men, when they are networking, they close deals right then and there. Ain't no, I'm gonna email you, I'm gonna call you later, we're gonna follow up. Like, no, what? Let's get this done right now. And she and I could both understand that, and we just do it, and we got it done. And I said, no. I said, listen. She want to do something together. I said, okay, we're going to do something together. But it can't be something we just put together right quickly in a week or two. It can't be something we just put together in 30 days, in 60 days. I said, we need to do something that is going to be, when we put it out there, it's got to be at least 9 months away, if not a year. Those are the things that I have seen that doers bring to fruition, and they come together the way they're supposed to be. Let's not even do it unless it is 12 months out. Then we looked at where we are as far as 12. I said, well, 12 months out, we will have missed. Here's a window. There's a window if we went 9 months. Scale it on back 3 months. And when we scale that sucker back 3 months and realize where that was going to hit, that's what we want to hit. Based on what we want to do, because we want to do it for young people, that's what we need to hit. And we need to get it together. And that doesn't mean does that mean that the work starts then? No, the work starts now. That we don't, no more talking. We didn't talk. This was a meeting. This was a talk meeting right here. The next one is doing. Here's the step. Here are the action items. Action items, right? That's what doers have action items. What's the next action item? Because we're doers. All the talking was done. We just did all the talking. And we ain't got to have 6 more meetings. We ain't got to meet every week, every month. Listen, here's your list. Here's my list. Let's go on and hit this, meet this. Let's meet these. Let's get these deadlines. And if you are out there and afraid to put, many people are afraid to put deadlines on yourself, as I'm watching it's still climbing over here. Let me go and share this out, because I didn't even share it. I'm talking about not this, but we're on, but I'm talking about this Dow thing. Let me go ahead and get that share. We are, here we go. Come on, thing, post. Okay. We're doers. And that's who I'm talking to today. When I say, listen, y'all, this is a daily podcast at 37 minutes in. It's a daily podcast. You know what kind of commitment that is I'm giving to come on each day that I'm giving the breath of life to share my hindsight so that you can make it your foresight. If you notice, when I hit the stop button, I go back, I put it in the description, hindsight. Here's where this conversation went. The only thing I knew to come on here and talk about, I want to talk about doers. I knew I wanted to talk about doers because what I did, I looked at what was shown to me coming into this day, and I said, it's about these doers. It's about these doers. That's what this thing is about. Because I'm looking down my timeline, I'm like, man, this person right here, they've been saying that stuff for years. You know, I could go and look at a person's profile, pick a word, and I'm like, let me go search that word. Man, they've been saying they're gonna do that for years. I'm like, and I tell people, man, you've been saying you're gonna do it for 5 years. And they're like, really? It's been that long. It's been that long. Go ahead and do it. Well, everybody, there's nobody that attracts everybody. Come on. Who are you, Noah? Who was it? Noah? Who was it? I'm trying to think. Let me get my scripture. Let me get my Bible thumper over here. Like, really? I'm like, what is this? Where do we get that concept from of everybody or the majority or this, that, and the other? That's just not how this thing is done. First of all, you got to save yourself. That's what this is about. And that's the thing. The thing that is most difficult to get a person to do is to save yourself. I was listening to this guy. I wasn't listening because he ended up explaining to me the very loud conversation that he just had last night. And he was like, I'm sorry you had to hear that. I am too. All the chaos and turmoil that was going on in his life. He was having particular troubles with 2 of the women in his life. The woman he was attempting to run a household with, and then the young woman he should have been running a household with whom was his daughter. So the relationship that he was in was going awry, that they apparently have nearly fought in the streets, and he finally got away from her. In that time, he realized his daughter was having difficulties, and he should have been spending that time with his daughter. So he tried to sever the other relationship, which was a very difficult severing. And he probably had a night of drama because he had to go back into that situation. And he proceeded to explain this to me because what I was really trying to listen to was how he was drafting his fantasy league, right? And I'm like, so I'm ear in the fantasy league conversation because, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm trying to understand this thing because apparently that's what y'all did this weekend, have y'all fantasy draft. So I'm trying to ear hustle because I just love sports conversation. I don't have a loyalty to a team. I know I'm in Atlanta. I know the Falcons. Don't even try to come at me about the 28-3 and all that kind of stuff because I was looking at Matt Ryan the same way. Like, really, I had the same look on my face that Matt Ryan had on his face. Like, damn, did they just steal this Super Bowl from me? And Matt, I hate to tell you, it wasn't even what happened on the field came from someplace that's way far away from the game. You better know it, right? Because that stuff is all contrived. But anyway, it's like wrestling. It's fake. I don't mean to disappoint y'all in y'all football. But fantasy football has taken over football. Like it don't even matter who's on the team. It don't even matter all the players. Like it don't even matter. Because y'all out there, and I'm trying to figure this out. And if I start having this conversation, y'all gonna be like, "Where you get that from?" I'm just trying to figure this thing out. I'm a talker. I'm just a talker when it comes to this thing. I ain't doing yet. Okay, I got some apparel over here that I put on every now and then when I go make some extra money, right, in that football stuff. But I'm trying to understand because it seems like the fantasy league takes over the entire game. Okay, so I'm listening to how he done put together his team because he's talking about the draft. He just exited the draft, right? At one of the venues, and so everybody's like all in this thing, but he can't concentrate on his draft good enough because he's so afraid that the girl that he done sent away in his vehicle is either gonna come in here and clown on him some more, or to go destroy the vehicle or anything else. So he can't really concentrate. So he on the phone with one of his boys. Y'all crack me up, man. And ladies, if these men, the conversations they have, talk about talkers, I'm like, dude, come on. Get back to the football stuff. Him and the dude can't talk about the football stuff because they trying to figure out his relationship stuff and how to get this woman out of his house so that he can go and be the dad that he needs to be. All his business, right? That's what I'm saying, talkers. All his business. He trying to, him and homeboy trying to get that draft done, but in the meantime trying to figure out how to get this woman out his house and out his truck and out his wallet so he can fully become, because his daughter, wherever she is, has got a situation and he needs to get bring his daughter, and he ain't trying to bring his daughter around this thing that he been in for 3 years. All his business, right? So I'm like trying to ear hustle on the draft, and I'm like, all this other stuff. And then you're a lady. Let me ask you. No, you can't ask me. I'm not in that. Who did you pick for such and such? I'm like, oh. So now he was like, I'm sorry. I don't mean for you to hear this. I don't want to hear it either. But I'm going through this, that, and the other. And my daughter out there. And apparently I got to go and figure out what's up with the city girls. Please somebody tweet me about the city girls. In the meantime, he trying to like, coach his daughter on the phone about making better decisions about he ain't raising no city girl. You did. I'm sorry. The drama you got going on with the girlfriend, you all in the city girls. Okay, I'm just saying. And now your daughter's out there becoming apparently a city girl. And I think it got something to do with the city girls and the hot girl summers and the thoughts and the stallions and all this kind of stuff, right? And she too young to be indulging in all of that. But what you think she's going to indulge in when she sees what daddy has made a priority, right? I threw that in there, and then we went on. I said, now let's get on back to football. I had to say, he's like, yeah, because all he could say to me was, yeah, you're right. So I gotta get this woman out my house. I got this woman out my city. He's trying to encourage the lady, whoever she is, to move back to whatever city he done brought her from, because she done come and kind of took over, right? Now, mind you, at the same time, now I bet I give too many details, but anyway, but I got to figure out and I know I've seen this group called the City Girls. And I think I tried to listen to one of their songs, and I was like, oh my God, what the hell? But anyway, and I know y'all doing a hot girl. Listen, I was like, I got a great patch in my head. Ain't no hot girl summer going on here. What they call it might be one of them Indian summers. You know, it get hot up in here occasionally. But that hot girl something like, look, honey, I got daughters. I ain't trying to do that. I got young grown women. No, and they better not either. So anyway, talkers and doers. Was he a talker? You know, did he go home trying to keep down the drama, and now it still has a situation going on? Because you know, once it happens, it's gonna always happen. I'm gonna tell you the difference between a talker and a doer. A doer is going to bring a stop to some of the stuff that should not be going on in their lives. A doer is going to bring a stop to some of the stuff that keeps them from getting out of bed. A doer gets beyond the talk, and I want you to get beyond the talk. And we at just 30 seconds over. I wanted to stop at 45. I'm gonna tell you, if you want to get beyond, you want to become a doer. There are aspects of a doer. Guess what? A doer can already say what's done. Oh, that's done. That's done. If you haven't put some deadlines on some things, you are not a doer. If you can't look at a deadline right now, the deadline for this podcast was literally 1 minute ago. We are 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, and 1 minute and 7 seconds beyond. I had a deadline of 45. Now I can continue because I'm still doing. And I'm gonna stop doing because I gotta go. But if you don't have a deadline, you're not a doer. If you don't have a deadline, you are not a doer. You are just a talker. Somebody else is doing it for you. And you are probably one of those people trying to say it loud enough where somebody else will pick it up and run, take the ball, whatever, baton, whatever, go, whatever. Whatever whatever analogy you need, if there's no deadline and you just keep talking about it and keep saying it and saying it, you are simply waiting for somebody else to do it for you. And we see you, we know who you are, we know the talkers, we know the doers. Doers have deadlines. What's your deadline? What's that first deadline that you need to meet? The second to third thing I said to myself this morning. It's Monday morning. What's my next deadline? What have I not done? I got so many deadlines in this day right here on a Monday. Monday is for me, and Monday has always been. I'm like, man, I really want my life to be what my Monday is, a chill day where I ain't got to get up and go to work. That's my deadline. Now Monday I can chill, but because of the meetings, because of the things that I've already done this weekend, Monday is now back in play. Monday can't be a burn day no more. I got stuff I got to do on a Monday. And Petty Betty is off today, so you better know Petty Betty got an agenda. We got an agenda going on up in here. We got a goal. We got a number. We literally have a physical number that we need to meet. We done put it on the board. That's the number we got to meet today as it relates to, and it's still Petty Betty's off day. It's still my chill day, but we still got a deadline. We still got a deadline. We got a number that we need to meet. We got a number. We got activities. We got things that we need to reach. All that. If you a doer, you got to reach. And a reach means what is it you need to expose? What kind of exposure you got to have today? Like we got a family business. How much exposure we need today? We putting some things in place so that we can meet that. Meeting that deadline depends on that exposure. I mean, we got to let all these people know, all these new people know that like this podcast. I got regulars, my listeners, and this, that, and the other. But I also got to reach. There's a reach I got to meet, right? Email went out this morning, 4 a.m. or no, yesterday. It's going out. My next deadline is 4 a.m. in the morning. That got to go. And that's on a Tuesday morning. Honey, I can't tell you what all goes on. Y'all got to go find that Tuesday morning podcast. What we will, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I wake up the breath of life. We'll be talking about this tomorrow. But there's a 4 a.m. deadline out there that I've got to meet. Now you thinking, man, you got all day. No, because I'm a doer. I'm going to do it now so I don't have to do it later. Okay? Become a doer. We'll put my lemonade down so I can reach over here and hit the stop button. Deadlines, right? I'm telling you, doers have deadlines. Talkers keep talking. Talkers are not disturbed enough. They don't disrupt enough. They have not reached the point of exhaustion. Talkers are not serving anybody, certainly not respective of time. They are not tired. They're certainly not executing. Talkers, they don't even have any action items, and talkers know nothing about saving yourself. Those are the aspects of a doer. Let me know. Tweet me at DryerBuzz and let me know. Are you a talker? Just that's all I want to know. All throughout your day and everything that you're doing, and every engagement, and every encounter, and every step throughout the day, write your list. On one side, you got a talker. On the other side, you got a doer. In that moment, in just that moment, were you the talker or were you the doer? If you put a deadline on it, that's when you check off the doer side. If you just talk yourself out of it, you're a talker. All right. So just note that. I'm gonna hit the stop button. That's gonna make me what? That's gonna make me a doer, but I could not do it without some support on these podcasts. So you already know that go to naturalsoapbyzakia.com. Every time you use that discount code DryerBuzz, they become a doer and support this podcast. Discount code DryerBuzz. Also, family business. We are a family business because one part of the family business is I-her.com. Another part of our support comes from DLeeInspires.com. Coming up, we're going to be having a major event. This is for the doers. We're going to have a doers day. How about that? A doers day. And as soon as we get on their calendar, Delete Inspires will be one of our speakers. We have a reunion of what took place last year for those that wanted to master Amazon. And we're going to get ready to do that for those of you getting ready that are already starting to doers, working on your Black Friday so that you can have your Black Friday. What is it? Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday. I don't know why it's called Small Business Saturday. It needs to be Small Business Friday. Why are you going to wait to Small Business Thursday? I don't know why you going to wait till everybody spend all their money on Black Friday to get them to come to it. Let me tell you, honey, my family business is on Thursday. We try to get that money before Black Friday, right? Get the jump. Doers ain't waiting. Doers ain't waiting to Cyber Monday. Doers already got their Labor Day sale out there. Y'all like, wait, what? Yeah, that's the deadline. That's the next deadline. Labor Day, y'all, I'm telling you. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I can just see y'all like, wait, what? Yeah. Let me tell you, if you're a doer, doers don't, the last thing a doer would say is, wait, what? No, that's a talker. Doers are already doing. They're already ready because they follow DryerBuzz. All right, guys, listen, I am so thankful for you guys jumping on here as we get ready to exit out. I just need you to do me one more favor. Oh, let me tell you about the other podcast because, as I said, one of the things we do at DryerBuzz.com, if you go to DryerBuzz.com, you will see that we produce a number of podcasts and live streamings. One live streaming that we will be returning this fall is In the Kitchen with DryerBuzz. The temperature is dropping, so we'll be heading back into the kitchen. We need that nice cold spell, y'all. Fruits and vegetables are at their after that first frost. But anyway, so we'll be back after the first frost for In the Kitchen with DryerBuzz. Also, you hear me saying the family business. One of the things we're doing is we're helping entrepreneurs bring their family and friends back into the fold with their family, with their business. If you find yourself saying your friends don't support, your family don't support, then you are doing it wrong. Your friends and your family don't support your business. Your business supports your friends and your families, meaning that your friends are coming out and helping you work your business because you got an incentive for them. Your family is supporting your business because you're supporting your family. All these people, and we did it too. But remember I said we're doers. I went in, looked at this thing, and figured this thing out. And I went back in the time. I bent time to figure out where we went wrong with that, and that's what it's been. The history of the family business, meaning people have always had their own things going on, but they would always come back in and do something with the family business. If you are one of those people that are saying your friends and your families, your friends and your family don't support your business, stop right there. You're doing it wrong. Your business supports your friends and family. Now, if you're the kind of person you get mad at that, what you mean, then, hey, listen, get off my timeline. Unfollow me right now because that's just literally how this thing works. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, we've gotten away from so much, and I'm that person. Like, let's just go ahead. We can sever this, like, right. You don't understand that. You don't get that with everything that you know to be. Let me tell you, the Johnson and Johnson family. There is not a Johnson that is working the Johnson Johnson. They're like, look, y'all, they don't, because they are copy. The Johnsons that are being born, they're like a copy of a copy of a copy, right? They're the weakest link, right? There's a whole board, stockholders, and all that kind of stuff. And not to mention the company has the biggest controversy going on right now, right? They're on their like fifth, sixth, seventh generation. Okay, it's beyond family business at this point. Did y'all know there is a conference out there that I don't care how much money you got, Oprah can't even go to this conference. You can't go to the conference unless you are fifth generation and beyond. That's how they meet to keep. Okay, that's where they meet to keep the family business. You got to be in the fifth generation. And if you look around and you see how many businesses are folding that don't even make it to the second generation, they call it new money. I don't care how much money you make, you can't buy your way into these things. There's a lot of people out there got billions of dollars right now, but can't go because you've only done for you. You've only done for you. You've not created a lineage with that. You've not created generational wealth. And look, the word that they use, it's not even generational wealth. It's beyond. They have a whole other language. Because it's more than providing for the generation. It means you're providing. It's national, not national, not national. It's national wealth because they're employing half the nation. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like Jeff Bezos over there, he probably can't even go because it's like his father and his grandfathers didn't give him his company, right? They may have given him some other stuff, but anyway, we don't know. Nobody's gone down that wormhole, right? That's what I'm saying. So it's like not national wealth, national wealth. That's what I love about Zakia and her support and Desiree. That's why I particularly said yes to partnership with them, to allowing them to even support the podcast. I get enough people want to advertise, like, but I don't. That doesn't meet with the, you get told it all the time, like that didn't meet with the brand. But one of the reasons I particularly like those two is because they were using nation. Zakia was growing a nation of soap makers. When I say go to Natural Soap by Zakia, there are more people going to Natural Soap by Zakia looking to start a family soap business because they see when they watch her videos how she gets to spend valuable time with her family by having this family business, right? Having her job and her career like the most of us, but still everybody then comes together to work the family business. That's what you see when you go and look down the timeline, right? Same thing with D. Lee, and they had the values that I have. I was a mom too. I had to go work a job, but then I would come home and we all would pitch in and work the family. But this podcast right now, my house is quiet right now because everybody is supporting the family business, which is the production of podcasting and blogging. Right? So that's what I want you to, I'm only saying this because I want you to get it. I want you to be able to decipher, write that down. I want you to be able to decipher what you're seeing. So when I said to them, I'd love to have your support on this. When they said to me, I want to support what you're doing. Here's how we do that. Because the common thread to us is that we are about nation building. Desiree Lee, if you go to her timeline, you're going to see she's building the authors and business. It's called the AIB Nation. Zakia, Nation of Soap Makers, right? Yes, she, in teaching people to make soap, she ends up with products and she sells that product and her students sell product. That's what you're buying when you go over there to use your discount code DryerBuzz. But if you would like to start your family business in that way, or if you like me, you want to monetize your podcast and your other content with soap making or authors, then that's what you go to. I'm telling y'all. These are doer activities, right? That's why I'm telling you. Listen, There's more out there. There's more of this. I got to go. Go to DryerBuzz, DryerBuzz.com, and sign up for our email newsletter. If you found this on the one-off, you don't see it all the time in your timeline, you want more of it. If you go to DryerBuzz.com, you're going to see on that page how to get to all these different aspects of things that I have mentioned. I've got a couple of workshops coming up. In fact, getting ready to do a pre-sale for 27 Answers to Rock a Podcast. If you want to do something in this lane, what I just did, 20 pre-sale for 27 Answers to Rock a Podcast is coming. We're going to launch that. That's going to be the next book, ebook, course, and so forth on that lane. But also a lot of things I was talking about, the family business. If you're an entrepreneur, you've got a side hustle, you're trying to figure out like why it is exhausting you, because you need to make it a family business. That means that you need to figure out how to share the quote unquote wealth that you say you're making. You got to figure out how to share it. You got to put some incentives on there for your friends. You should be offering. You should always have an offer. Somebody jumped in my timeline yesterday. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And I'm sitting there just watching. You know how they sitting there looking at my read receipt. I'm just reading. And I'm waiting. I see all this stuff they asking for. But I was like, I'm watching for the exchange, right? Where's the exchange? Where's the exchange? Where's the offer? Where's the offer? Because I'm done talking. I'm done talking. It's about doing, right? And so forth. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Yep, I'm going to go. We just hit 43 seconds over an hour. And if you stayed this long, thank you. Thank you. And I hope, like me, you can throw these covers back, put your feet to the floor, and get to running into your day. And again, if you want more, there is book 1, which was a 90 episode, is out there. And we're full on in the midst of book 2. And that means we know exactly how to get out of bed. But all you got to do is do me one more favor.
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.